Okay, so we went to, from the beginning of this week, we were at a site called Eagle Crest, and really no kids showed up on Monday or Tuesday, but on Monday we met this little old man, and his name is Junior, and we always said hi to him every day, but on Wednesday we moved sites, and he was wondering where we went, and we did go say hi to him, and we found out that he hadn't accepted Jesus Christ in his life, so we had moved sites another time on Wednesday, and Thursday no kids showed up again. But the whole week, even from Monday, I felt like God was telling me to do something, and I didn't really know what it was until tonight. And we went to his house because we wanted to give him some pictures that he had asked us to bring him, because he has dementia and he doesn't really remember a lot. So we brought him some pictures of us, and we started having a conversation. Then it got into a God conversation about Jesus, and we started talking about it, and we asked him, we said, do you believe that Jesus died on the cross for your sin? And he said, yeah, I do. And then we asked him, well, do you believe that Jesus' blood washed away all your sin? And he said, he kind of hesitated on that one, and he said, well, I'm not that bad of a person. I don't really do bad things, so, and right away I didn't have anything with me. I didn't have a gift book, I didn't have a Bible, I didn't have any of my tools that I needed, but right away I felt God working through me, and I quoted the verses, Romans 3:23, then 6:23, and I told him about sin, and then he still wasn't understanding, so I told the first day of the gift book, which is the Adam and Eve story about how God told him, or how God told them not to eat from the tree of knowledge of good and evil, but they did, and I told him that's how sin entered the world. And
everybody sins.
And I told him that everyone sins, so
That's why God died on the cross, or God sent Jesus to die on the cross for our sins. He had a little bit of issues accepting that. He said because he's a good person, he doesn't have sin. So we prayed, and we kept talking to him, and his wife was praying really hard. She was telling him, it's a divine appointment, and you need to listen to what these kids are saying, and they're 83 years old, and they don't have much time left. And while we were going back and forth, Kara just kept going. She kept talking to him, and everything that she's learned and everything she's trained for just came out, and she tried really hard to make him understand,
Yeah, her mind would go blank, and she would look to me, and I would go, she would look to me and she'd say, I'm looking for a verse, what verse is it? And I was paying attention to the conversation, and I go, it's John 3:16, and she goes, okay, tell him. And I do.
It was like every time I tried to, kind of like step in and help her out, God, like my mind would go blank, and she would have to pick it up, and it's truly what you've taught them to do, and what they've learned through the L.I.T program. And, we prayed with him. Kara told him, you have to make the decision. It has to be an honest decision from your heart.
And I asked to go outside for a minute, and I told Jaden to go with me. And we went outside and immediately started crying. I told Jaden, she told me to stop crying, and I said, no, I can't. It's a war going on in there, and Satan's not going to win. God is going to crush him. It's not going to happen. This little old man, Junior, he's going to accept Christ, and he's not going to go to hell. He's going to go to heaven. And I walk back in, and he goes, what were you doing out there? And I tell him I was praying for him because I want to see him on the day of judgment whenever Jesus brings his kids back home. I want to see him at those gates. I want to see him smiling. I want to see him happy, and I want to see him excited that he did make the decision in his life.
And she did amazing. And this being my first trip, like I said, Katie's been into the L.I.T program, and she's come back from mission trips, and she's told me all about it. But I think until now, until tonight, I didn't really see what it was all about. I see this 11-year-old girl who is absolutely on fire for God, and she's more knowledgeable. She had to pick up where a grown adult couldn't, and she delivered it with such passion and such perfection that only God could give her. I mean, I am truly blown away by this program and by what these kids are capable of doing. Even though I've supported it before, there's no words to describe how amazing it is to see a little girl try to lead somebody to salvation and do it in such a great way. It's all God. It's all God. It's amazing.
We told him he didn't end up accepting Christ tonight, but we all felt it. He said he's going to think about it. And I told him, I said, I want you to accept Christ. I don't care if it's tonight. I don't care if it's tomorrow. I just know that I want you to accept him. And he said, I'll think about it.
And said we gave him a lot to think about. And then Kara prayed for him. We all gathered around and held hands. And Kara prayed a very great prayer. And we told him that, when it was time and he wanted to do that he could reach out and, that we would definitely be praying for him, that God loved him, and so do we.
And I also told him, I want you to make this decision while you're still here. I said, I don't want you to have to go before you can make this decision. I said, I really want to see you at those gates when I come and the day of judgment comes and all. I want to see you there. And he felt it. I know he did.
Yeah, God was definitely there. He was definitely there, and he was definitely in that place, and it was just amazing to see.